Well, never trust a snake. Hi, this is Senshi Reviews here to review the season 6 premiere of Game of Thrones. And I have to say, stuff's happening, man. I mean, good grief. I don't know how to respond to about half of it. No, I know how to respond to about half of it. One of them is they're really not going to keep Jon Snow dead, are they? I mean, come on, the Red Woman's there. She can bring him back, right? Granted, this could be the prayers of a Jon Snow fangirl, because I personally believe Jon Snow is really the... there's a spider on my wall. Anyway, I personally believe Jon Snow's like the only character worth watching on the show besides Tyrion. It's like Tyrion, Jon Snow, and now I'm getting to Sansa. I'm actually kind of glad they've melded the Sansa Jane Poole story arc, and I suspect they're going to mold the her mother, the crap. I can't remember her name. This is sad. And I've read most of the books. But, yeah, I feel like they're going to do that, which is a bit of a letdown. But here's the thing, though. Here's one of the reasons why I really hope they bring Jon Snow back, because they really need to. He's, like, the only person worth it. And really, I mean, you don't put that much buildup of a character and then just kill them off. Though I guess this is George R.R. Martin we're talking about, so he might. Anyway, Daenerys is with the Dothraki at the moment, and I have no doubt that Ser Jorah and the other guy, whose name I've forgotten, unfortunately. It's been that long. Daario Naharis. There you go. Jorah and Daario are gonna get to Hearst at some point. I think. We'll see. It might happen and it might not. But, you know, I mean, I'm not entirely sure if I'm rooting for any of them. I'm almost kind of hoping she and Tyrion just get married. Sadly. Sansa is about where she is, or where I expected her to be, and good grief, she's running from her crazy lunatic husband who's mourning his crazy lunatic girlfriend. Yeah, so, match made in heaven. I hope they both die. Alright, let's see, what else are we doing? Oh yeah, Cersei Lannister had the most unpleasant shock of her life, which, it's kind of funny because everything Cersei Lannister has done up to this point escalated everything up to this point. If Cersei hadn't been Cersei, then none of this would have happened. Granted, if Cersei hadn't been... Well, if Cersei had still been Cersei, I wouldn't still be surprised if she and Jaime did what they were doing, and then Myrcella still would have been born. Wow, that was fun. Anyway, I feel like Myrcella still would have ended up being born. But who knows, maybe Joffrey wouldn't have been so... Anyway, most of this episode is just falling action, or rising action, falling action, like, basically everything that happened in the plethora of cliffhangers in in the season 5 finale, happened, basically. I mean, they all got resolved, and in, like, every single, like, it was basically an episode of resolution and new chapters. Like, I think the only thing that kind of is still not resolved at this present time is Margaery Tyrell and Loras Tyrell's story arc. Everything else has been resolved. Everything else is about to start their next, calm before the storm type of thing. The next chapter has started for everything. The next book, so to speak. Except Margaery and Loras. Everybody else is... Well, then there's Sam. We haven't seen Sam yet. But I think there's so many of them. At this point, though, No? Tyrion. Tyrion literally started, like, I feel like Tyrion's part would be like the start of the new book, almost. Like, that is an actual beginning of an episode. There we go. Tyrion and, I'm bad with names tonight, I don't know why. Tyrion and the, spy master, basically. I can't believe I don't remember his name. But anyway, Tyrion and the Spy Master pretty much are the people who I would imagine would start the book, basically. Because, yeah, like, where Jon Snow's concerned, falling action after what happened with Jon Snow, which I'm hoping will get resolved in, him coming back to life. Who knows? But, yeah, Tyrion's bit definitely was, like, you open the book, and hey, that's the beginning of the new part of the story. The part of the story that we haven't read yet. But, like, it has a clear beginning. That was the only clear beginning for this season that I could see. Everybody else is just kind of ending. And so, everybody else is gonna get their beginning in episode 2, and not their beginning in episode 1, which is the conventional way to do it, but whatever. And this is me talking about plot points and writing techniques. This is, like, what this people decided to do. No dragons yet. We still don't know what happened to Drogon. Tyrion hasn't decided to go schmooze with the dragons that are chained up underneath the catacombs or whatever. So I don't know. I don't really know where they are. I know they're in the book, but I haven't gotten to book 5 yet. The problem with this episode is that there really isn't that much to talk about. The direwolf is not dead. So, again, everybody has pretty much said, the direwolf's not dead. Jon Snow's coming back. And I really hope they're right. And I hope George R.R. Martin isn't just screwing us over. Which he probably is. But, I mean, you know, one can only hope. So, anyway, again, not much to talk about in this episode yet. I mean, there's speculation. All really this episode has done is end a few things, start speculating, like, how they're going to go with certain things, like what they're marrying and what they're not. Like in the case of Sansa, they've pretty much married her to Jane Poole, and I'm Lady Stoneheart. I think and also Lady Stoneheart's story arc, which will be very interesting. And who knows, I think also they'll probably pick her up somewhere in her actual story arc, or they're just going to take her in a completely different route. They did say season 6 is basically going to diverge from the books, and the seasons I've heard are apparently going to be shorter because they know how it ends, but they're going to take a different route to get there, and at this point, considering the fact that the books haven't even been written yet, I don't have a problem with that. That's like, I know on my previous reviews, I've grumped about people changing the actual plots of the books. Well, here's the thing. When the rest of the books haven't been written yet, and George R.R. Martin apparently takes 10, 15, 20 years to write the other books, this is actually where I will forgive this. And then there's also just the fact that the books are longer than these. Okay, actually, hold on. The books start getting about this long. I know this is Brandon Sanderson, but this is actually a very good illustration of how long his books are. They're in the thousands. They are long. They look like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Winds of Winter looks like that too. Seriously, you have Game of Thrones, about 800 pages. You have Feast of Crows, which is, I think, about 700 pages. It's short compared to the other two before. And then Dance with Dragons, which is a behemoth. And I'm guessing Winds of Winter is going to be a behemoth too, because George R.R. Martin put chapters from Dance with Dragons that he didn't use into Winds of Winter. So again, I there is no spoilers from this point on, except I think for Arya's arc. But there aren't any spoilers from this point on. We have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. And if Winds of Winter comes out, it's not going to come out before the show ends, or this season ends, but if Winds of Winter comes out before season 7 begins, the book readers might have some insight into what's going on, but apart from a few plot points, like, I actually do think certain, like, Stannis burning his daughter alive and Stannis probably dying because of that, I think that actually is supposed to happen. I think that is something George R.R. Martin divulged to the showrunners, basically. So, sorry guys, she's not gonna, I don't think she's gonna survive in the books. I would really be surprised if she did. And this is just, I'm on book 3. This is like me saying, I don't think she's going to survive in the books, and I'm on book 3. So, I think I know, to me it actually does make sense where Stannis' character arc is going in the show, because I've read the book up to book 3, and it wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Anyway, but, yeah, it's definitely been a lot of falling action this episode, so I'm guessing we're going to kind of have a relatively quiet episode next week, which wouldn't surprise me, which will probably be very great, since I have a feeling Outlander's next episode is not going to be quiet at all. I think it's going to be very heart-wrenching, or heartbreaking, not heart-wrenching, but heartbreaking, or it's going to start getting heartbreaking. Things are going to happen in the next Outlander episode, so, yeah. These are the reviews that I'm doing. This is my episode 1 review of Game of Thrones. I didn't feel like there was a lot to talk about the episode. Others might feel differently. That's okay. Go watch their videos if you want to get into all the conspiracy theories. I'm just reviewing the content. So, have a nice day.